Hello. You're listening to Questboard, a podcast where we make up random side quests. My name is Brandon.
And I'm Tiffany. Just so you know, we are not professional writers in any way, shape, or form. At least we don't claim to be. We just really like tabletop RPGs, and we do this for fun.
That's right. How are you, Tiffany?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah?
Enjoying life.
Well, just the other week, you and I went to do escape room together.
That was fun.
So I got a group of friends of mine, and I'm like, hey, Tiff, you want to be the sixth?
And I'm like, heck yeah, I do.
Not to be like dox ourselves, so I won't say exactly the room or anything like that.
Yeah, no major details. Sorry, guys.
But I think it was too easy.
I had fun, but I like it when puzzles are easy enough to the point where I feel smart because I solved it. I don't like puzzles that are too hard because then I always have to look up the answers and then I feel like, oh man, I'm not smart.
Well,
I can't figure out
that's
this puzzle.
the beauty of having multiple people, so that different perspectives. But I think I've learned something while doing that group, which is I think 6 is too much.
I would agree.
So I want to kick you. I'm just kidding.
That's fine.
No, I just I think probably like 4 or 5 is better.
Yeah.
I've done 3. I've not done 2 people.
I've done 2 with my husband. It felt like we needed more people. Like it was a little hectic.
Well, it depends on the design of the room.
Right. The design of the room was designed to handle more people, but could also be completed by 2 people and was because we got out.
Well, congrats.
Yeah.
But we did, I remember our time. We did in like 44 minutes or something like that.
44.
And
the clock said 16. Anyway.
Yeah, with some time. But then if you
Yeah.
think the reverse of that, it's 43 with some seconds.
That's fair. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, most of it was just on one puzzle.
Yeah.
And
there was
we
one
were
puzzle.
overthinking it.
Oh, boy, were we.
It's still, it was a point where everyone was just had nothing to do because we were all just stuck on that one thing.
Right. And so we were all
And
standing there
a
staring
couple
at
of us,
it.
which I think both you and I were just backseating because I'm just like standing in the back, like I'm not going to do anything.
Right. I was just standing back staring at it, trying to like formulate my own ideas on it, like not really listening to anyone else, but maybe sort of going off of what they were. I don't know. Neither of us solved it in the end.
Well, I said something and someone else, like, I think piggybacked off of that and changed one thing, and then that turned out to be right, but I didn't know exactly.
I think we found out later, like, we actually had 2 of the numbers swapped.
Or something like that,
Yeah.
yeah. And, yeah, it wasn't my favorite one.
Yeah. It wasn't the best one I've ever done, but it was well designed.
It's better than others I've been to. I haven't been to a lot.
I've been to a couple that, like, I've literally been to one that was in a tent at an anime convention. And actually, I think that one was very well designed.
Yeah, it really depends. It's not about the dressing.
Yes.
It's about how good the puzzles is and how creative the... Oh, that reminds me. There was one time where I was visiting my brother in a different city. And I'm not saying where.
I know.
And while I was there for the weekend, he's like, oh, let's do escape room. I'm like, yeah, sure. And so we went to this one place, and the escape room was like... It told a story of like in the beginning, oh, this is why you're investigating. It was like an office.
Yeah.
Like a personal office.
Okay.
Imagine like a Indiana Jones office, or like
no, I've actually done a different escape room.
But
I'm assuming different. That was
you were
very
investigating.
similar.
You're investigating like about the person whose office that is, or whatever, And we finished it, and then it didn't answer anything about the plot of why we were in there in the beginning or anything like that.
Oh no!
The final solve was just to like unlock the door so we could leave. But I'm like, it was very disappointing because I was like, what about this? What about that? Why were we in there in the first place? I do appreciate when the room has a plot that's like why we need like to do something within an hour and the goal, and it's tied into the the theme of the room.
Yeah. And the one I was talking about that sounds very similar to yours actually did complete the plot.
Oh, okay.
And so I will tell you about that later.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. Just go do escape rooms. They're fun.
If you're into that.
Yes. Like
I know a couple people was like, that is not their cup of tea.
No. I was about to say I don't think my sister's ever done an escape room, but she has. She actually took me to an escape room for my bachelorette party. which was fantastic.
Oh, I think you told me about that one.
Yeah. And I think that's the first time she's ever done an escape room. And if I remember correctly, she actually had fun. So maybe I should see if she wants to do more.
Yeah.
More bonding with my sister.
Oh. Yeah, I think that's all I got. You got anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think we should make a quest.
From our good friend, Rolling 920.
Yeah.
We're good friends, right?
I mean,
I assume.
I would say friend. Soon to be good friend, I hope. I mean, we've only made one quest from their prompts so far, and it turned out to be a very dark but very cool one. That would be Village We Lost in the Fire.
Yeah. I guess we will see if we're continuing the dark Edgar Allan Poe path with Rolling That 20.
The Poe path.
The Poe path? The emo path. Okay.
Ooh. All right. Roll a d20. And you better roll a nat 20.
I got a 7.
All right. A 7. This is quest seed number 6. A farming community's livestock have all been acting strangely. At night, all the animals congregate around a small pond in the center of a copse of large oak trees. The next day, the animals return with strange glowing sigils written on them. During the day, they seem in a daze, walking into walls and paying no heed to their owner's calls.
You know, all I was thinking about was our previous episode where it was Bahamut.
The sheep cult.
It was the sheep cult, but now this is a cow cult.
Now we have a cow cult, except I don't think the cows are doing this on purpose, because they're just kind of like coasting through life in a full-on daze right now, but now they're all cool looking because they've got sigils written all over them.
No, they're high off of the sigils.
Oh, no.
Well, they act like it because they're dazed, walking into walls, paying no heed. Like, the sigils they're high from it. I don't know. It sounds like they smoked weed, but, you know.
And it's the whole community's livestock.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So it's multiple ranchers' cows.
It's not cows, it's livestock. Where did you find cows?
I guess I was automatically assuming cows.
Yeah, no, it's all the livestock, not just cows.
Yeah.
I mean, when you say livestock, my first thought was cows as well, but I've now come to realize, oh no, it's all of them, goats included.
Okay, so you're also guilty.
Yes, I also thought cows, but you started it.
Don't throw stones.
Fine.
In that lovely glass house of yours.
So yeah, it's just everything. So it's all of the animals congregating around a small pond in the center of a copse of large oak trees, and then they come home. And then they have weird sigils written all over them that probably looks really cool. Or maybe it's sloppy writing and not as cool looking, but...
Stupid thought.
Uh-oh.
No, it's not even like the entire plot. It's just one scene. What happens if, like, the party follows the livestock to this pond, and then, like, the druid or ranger can speak with animals, and all the animals are just saying, ooga chukka, ooga chukka. I don't know why I thought that. That was stupid.
Oh, man, they're all just chanting.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I mean, I'm guessing the party's first response would be follow the livestock to...
I think we gotta determine what's causing this, like the root cause, and then we can think of the scenes.
Okay.
I feel like that should be the most important part, right?
Yes. My first thought was a vampire that figured out how to get the animals to come to him. And then, you know, sucks a little bit of blood, which would explain them walking around in a daze. They're kind of just loopy from lack of blood.
But
and then they
glowing
leave.
sigils?
Yeah, I know. I don't know about that. Maybe that was to make them forget.
But then livestock have low intelligence. They're not sentient.
Yeah. But, I mean, I'm going to go with cow again because that's, again, my first thought. If a cow walks into an electric fence once, later it's not going to walk back into that electric fence. It knows that thing caused pain, so I stay away.
I don't know. There's
outliers, yes.
I was gonna say, I think I've seen on the internet some real dumb cows.
There's always outliers that go back for a second shock. But usually the second shock is enough.
Yeah, they're called humans. They always go for the second shock.
Humans do it on purpose because they know that fence is gonna shock them.
Total tangent. I don't think I should, but total tangent. They did a study. Humans will actually shock themselves with pain out of boredom.
Yes.
Because if like there was a study where they put people in a room and they showed them a button and it's like if they push it, they will shock themselves and they're fully aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they leave them in the room and the scientists noticed that like people would rather like out of boredom will shock themselves knowing it will hurt them because they have nothing else to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's real sad, and it's kind of worrying about like us as a species.
That also reminds me of an episode of the good old cartoon Gargoyles. There's a scene where they're trapped in an electrified cage, and one of them is so bored he's just poking the cage, and he's like, zzz, ow, zzz, ow. And the other one's like, will you stop doing that? And he's like, I'll stop doing it when you figure out how to get out of here.
Why would like electricity affect a stone creature?
They're not stoned at the time.
Oh.
Yeah, they're only stoned during the day.
It's been forever since I've seen that show. I can't
No,
remember.
they're flesh and blood at night.
Anyways, back on the train track.
Cows.
Any livestock.
Among other things.
Weapons, okay. This could also work for like Monster of the Week or Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, yeah, it really could.
Because I was also thinking like weapons if it's aliens. We haven't.
Aliens.
You did the gesture.
I did the gesture.
You didn't do the face though.
I don't know the face. I can't do.
It's like a half stroke drunk and like aliens.
Half drunk or high?
Why not both? Sure.
Yeah, ¿por qué no los dos?
What happens if it's like, because sigils just like scream like extraterrestrials or something?
Yeah, it could be.
What happens if the small pond is one of those like, have you ever seen the huge potholes like where it's filled with water but it looks like it's a shallow puddle but it's like really deep?
Yeah, then somebody goes to walk through it and falls straight in.
Yeah, the like those videos.
Those are hilarious.
What happens if this small pond is really like super deep and that's where like the underwater like observatory like station for aliens is inside there?
Okay.
And they basically, you know how like animals know when it's going to rain or there's going to be a tornado or a thunderstorm kind of thing?
Animals' instincts are pretty crazy.
What happens if the aliens use a technology that basically like causes them to instinctually want to go to it so they can perform like studies on carbon-based life forms, and then the like sigils is basically like a tagging system what we do with livestock, so knowing it's like, oh, this has been like, this is part of him. Or actually recently I've been watching videos about like of a lobster fisherman.
Oh yeah, I've seen
and
those.
he talks about it, and there's like, this is female, has eggs, so then we clip it.
Yeah, you clip the one fin so that anyone else who catches that lobster knows, oh, throw this
even
one back.
if she's not carrying eggs.
Yeah, because she can.
That you're supposed to put her back because it's a female during breeding. What happens if it's like that? It's like, okay, we conducted these experiments on this one. This is the like the thing for them to know.
Okay. I've got one more thing to add to that, but I do like this idea. What if these aliens think they are observing the dominant life forms of this planet? They don't realize that they aren't getting...
You are going into South Park territory.
Am I?
They made a joke where it was like season 1 where aliens would speak to cows and like aliens will actually say moo moo, moo moo moo. That's how aliens talked. And then they talked to the cow saying, you are the actual dominant species or smartest species on this planet. And they just like implied that cows are just really much smarter than us.
Okay. No, I was just saying that they landed in that lake basically and just started doing research from there. And they think they're sending out like this call or whatever it is. And they think they're getting all sentient life in the area. So they think they're getting, the smartest beings because they're the ones who answered the call. But really, the call has no effect on actual sentient life.
By the way, are we doing this like Monster of the Week or are we doing this fantasy?
This feels more Monster of the Week.
Okay.
Because...
non-fantasy one. That is very rare for us.
It is. And also, my explanation for the glowing sigils, it's a spectrum of light that the aliens can't see, so they think it's invisible to other beings, but they don't realize.
Is it like how, what was it, like some animals see ultraviolet light and we don't realize it, and so their view is very much different, so these aliens have a different light spectrum than us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because to those of you who don't know, one crow to another, they are gorgeous. They're actually beautifully colored. Crows can see a different... I think it was crows. It was either crows or ravens. One of those black birds that just looks all black to us is actually beautifully rainbow colored to them. Yeah.
I mean, they evolve differently, so yeah.
Yeah.
So if we're going to do this approach, it's very straightforward.
It is pretty straightforward.
If we're doing Monster of the Week, it's normal people. normal capabilities. Can't talk to animals. No Uga Chaka.
Well, is there one of the
If they...
Monster of the Week classes that can speak with animals at all?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think one of them could speak to spirits.
Oh, right. There was ghosts.
Maybe. I can't fully remember. I
So,
didn't memorize all the classes.
If they can sort of homebrew it, though, there is an Uga Chaka going on.
Okay. So if they go investigate the pond, how are they going to know about the secret base? How are they going to, like, what's going to happen?
Though, let's see. Would they investigate at night, you think?
That is up to them.
So if they investigate at night, well, if they investigate during the day, it's a pond. Congratulations, you found a pond that is suspiciously deeper than you think it should be. Like, it goes way down. Like, it's a full-on natural well type pond. But big enough, like... How far across do you think it is?
Usual pond is, I've seen they classify as a pond. I've seen one that's like 5 acres.
Ooh, okay.
And
So,
they
decently
classify it
sized.
as a pond.
Maybe not necessarily that big.
We can make it like a single acre.
Yeah, maybe a single acre. And it's like right smack dab in the middle of all these different farms. Like they're all just
And they
up
use it
against
as
it.
a water reservoir
Yeah,
for irrigation.
and they all use it.
Not irrigation, because these are livestock.
Maybe it's more like a natural spring. So there's fresh water coming up out of it all the time. Because I've been to one of those, actually. It was really cool. Yeah.
I was just thinking Yellowstone.
Not that kind of natural spring.
Or that hot.
No, yeah, not like that. The one I went to was I think it was a freshwater spring.
What if everyone thinks that it's like a natural spring where it's hot water, but it's really started off cold, but then the alien machinery needs a coolant, and so then it turns the water hotter than it really is. So
That
then
would
they think it's
kill any fish that live there.
maybe there is no fish in this pond.
Oh, yeah, maybe there
But
never
they
was.
think because they think it's a natural hot spring, they think, oh, it's naturally hot from the ground.
Well, I was going to say,
But the alien technology is what caused the water to be hotter.
the one natural spring I've been to was actually cold.
No, I've been to hot springs,
Yeah.
and that's
this is-
natural hot water.
I understand that. That's coming from like volcanoes and stuff. The one I've been to was actually cold water just springing up out of the ground, making a lake, and then turning into a river.
So it can be both. But
Yes.
what happens if...
But I do like the coolant idea.
What happens if that's part of the mystery is because it's like a flat area, because this is like ranching, small town, like there's normally flat lands. And normally a hot spring doesn't appear in those kind of lands.
Right.
So this is rare. And so then it's unusual.
But also, they have noticed the temperature of the water going up. Like with the aliens being down at the very bottom, just the bottom of it would heat up, but that would rise to the top and then dissipate and cool off. So the top of the lake isn't necessarily hot because it's cooled off by the time it gets up there. And so, but they have noticed the ambient like temperature of the lake has gone up. Like it doesn't freeze over in the winter or anything like that.
I was just thinking if it was like the locals classify it as a hot spring
Yeah.
because it's that hot. It would be unusual because of the location, and that could be a tip off for the players.
Okay.
Of something unusual or something weird, especially when this is Monster of the Week. So something unusual things
Right.
has to happen, right?
Is this a recent change or has it been like this for a long time? Like how long have these aliens been there?
I think long enough that they like all the residents or normal people think it's completely normal. So I feel like a long time, you know what I
Okay.
mean?
So this is a long-running research station for these aliens.
But then we could say that the livestock thing was recent.
Yeah.
Because that's when like something that was abnormal that changed recently. So
Right.
it could be where research station was like setting up all that stuff, and then recently they decided to start testing on carbon-based life forms.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then luring them, and then like taking a couple, I don't know how,
I would say
Down.
just taking samples.
but like I mean, so they come up, take samples, or they go up, grab a couple, take them down, and then do some tests until like beginning of the day or almost sunrise, and then they put them back up, and then they're all dazed and confused and all that stuff. And
I was
have
thinking
sigils.
they come up and do something to basically like stun the animal, but not to where it falls down, to where it just stands still so they can walk over to it, take their samples, and leave. And they leave marks on it to say, okay, we've done this sample from this creature.
Okay.
And that stunning it lasts. Like, it doesn't keep it standing still all day, but as soon as they turn off whatever device they have stunning it, like some sort of thing like they use in Men in Black or something, but as soon as they turn that off, The creature's like, where was I and what was I doing? Where
Well,
am I
I
going?
also
I'm gonna
thought
wander
about-
over here now.
I also thought about, haven't you seen those videos of like dogs after they go through surgery and the anesthesia is still acting?
Yeah.
What happens if it's like just a thing that's like a dart gun that they have that acts like that?
Okay.
You
Yeah,
know,
that works too.
Future version,
Right.
sci-fi version,
Mm-hmm.
and them acting all dazed and walking walls and not paying attention. That is very much like if you're still waking up from anesthesia.
Uh-huh.
Anesthesia.
Anastasia is the
She's
name
alive,
of Roman
yes.
princess. Is
Anesthesia.
it Roman? No. Yes?
I don't know.
Not Roman. Russian.
It's super long since
Wrong
I've seen that movie.
R starting named country. It was Russian.
We're dumb. Anyways, so that could explain that. But if the party sees that and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
what's like, we can't control what the party does, obviously.
Right.
I guess the question is, should we design these aliens and just spend the rest of the episode doing that?
I mean, do you want them to be just your typical gray aliens?
I don't know.
Because I actually know someone who's terrified of them. And I would
Is
not...
that legit fear?
Well, it is for this person. Yeah, they are 100% terrified of just the image of gray aliens. This person can't even look at, what was that one alien's name?
E.T.
E.T. Thank you.
He's brown.
I know. For some odd reason, that one gets her too.
It's the skin.
No,
kind of.
I think her parents had a plushie E.T. and scared her with it.
Oh, trauma.
Yeah, trauma.
Childhood trauma. Okay.
But also the gray aliens, they fall into that as well. So it's like, I know some people can be terrified of them. So I guess figure out beforehand if your party's terrified of that kind of alien. And if they aren't, feel free to use that.
No, if they are, that's the perfect monster of the week creepy setting then.
Yeah. Or you can use the aliens from Dandadan. Have you seen that anime?
No.
Oh, they're glowy blue guys with weird eyes that look like the kind of eyes a crab has.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
What happens if you just make them crab people?
Crab people. That's it. All crabs are aliens. And that's why no one's ever seen them, because they're like, oh, hey, there's a crab coming out of the lake and it's going back in. Interesting. They're the crabs.
You don't watch South Park.
Oh, I don't watch South Park.
They had an underground society of crab people. And in the episode, they tried to take over the world by disguising themselves as the Queer Eye for Straight Guy people.
Nice.
Just to make all the men of the surface world feminine so that they could take over the world by force. Yeah, it was a silly plot.
That's all of South Park.
Yeah.
The silly plot.
Well, that's also Family Guy.
That's true.
But it's just more jokes are in a line and on theme the entire episode.
I gotcha.
Anyways.
So honestly, we can leave that up to the game master to design their own aliens or use pre-existing aliens or have it just be crabs.
That's really, our cop-out, huh?
Yeah, that's our cop-out, because that's the whole point of Monster of the Week is you get to design the monster. You get to create this creature for your characters to investigate and find. We're just giving you a scenario to put them in.
Okay. Then is there anything else we want to add?
How are the sigils put on the animals? Are they just painted on? Are they lightly burned on to where they only burn the fur? Are they branded just like farmers do? And why does it glow? Well, we don't need to know why it glows. They're aliens.
No, it's the technology we do not understand. It's the same thing as when you add magic in front of it. It's just sci-fi glow.
Alien science. Yay!
Yeah, basically it's a technology we don't understand. That's way advanced. More advanced than us. So.
It kind of makes me think of when nature conservationists will grab an animal and, check on it, make sure it's okay, tag it and send it back. It's just like that animal was abducted by aliens and left with then they tag it and send it back. It's weird.
Oh my God. I think the rest of the episode is going to be just nothing. Stick around if you want to.
Oh no.
That reminds me of Jeff Foxworthy?
I've heard the name.
He's a comedian, like
That's
a redneck comedian, all that stuff.
Okay, I've only heard the name. I don't really watch comedians, guys.
He talked about he made a bit where he's like, oh, I was out ice fishing with some friends, and it's like really interesting on the point of view of the fish, because I'm sure when you release a fish, that fish is gonna go to his buddies and be like, dude, I just had the most out of body experience. I just saw some food in the middle of water. I grabbed it, and all of a sudden I felt like I was being pulled towards the light. And then as I went through the light, there was God with a Budweiser cap and a fur coat on. And I see my dead relatives hanging on the walls.
Oh gosh.
And he looks at me and says, "It's not your time, little fish. Go back."
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was just a bit of like that. And then he tossed him back. And
Well, the only reason I brought it up was because I remember seeing something similar to that concept in some animated animal movie. I don't know if it was Finding Nemo or something similar to that, but it was a creature that had been, grabbed by conservationists, tagged and sent back. And they're like, I was abducted by aliens and here's my proof type of thing. Like
that sounds like something they would make in Nemo.
Yeah. They're like, look at this. They gave me this device so they can find me again.
That sounds like one of those kid animated like jokes for the parents.
Exactly. And
I can't pinpoint what movie it was.
Yeah.
Down in the comments.
Yeah, let me know what movie it was because my memory is not helping.
No, it sounds very familiar.
Anyway, on that note though, I did ask, like, what do you think the application method for the glowing sigils is? So we're getting back on quest.
We just said it was like a sci-fi thing. Yeah. I think it's basically like a paint.
Okay.
Where it's like you spray paint on like an animal and just colors the fur and all that stuff. It's just glowy because more advanced technology.
Yeah. Maybe to them it's clear and they can only see it when they shine a certain light on it. But
yeah,
to us, it glows in broad daylight.
Yeah, so it's like they think it's, you need a UV light, a black light kind of situation.
Their version of UV.
But for us, it's just like, it's glowing.
Yeah.
And they just aren't aware.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
What if like the party confronts them and then they think that they're a different research team does like somehow disguise themselves as humans?
That'd be funny. If they even speak the same language.
Or what happens if they think that the party is a different alien race?
Oh no.
That they're like, they have a competing like research thing.
Like this is our turf, man.
Yeah, like, hey, these are my test subjects.
Yeah.
You don't touch my research.
Yeah. Or you can like give the party a way to actually get down to the alien ship or alien base, whatever's down there, and actually give them a whole dungeon crawl trying to get through that without being seen type thing.
Well, it's kind of hard because Monster of the Week is very much different from D&D.
Yes, it is, but I'm sure you could figure it out. Maybe there's an elevator somewhere, comes up in a stump. It's in a copse of trees. Maybe one of the trees is fake and it just has a door on it. They've been there for a while.
At least a Christmas world, yes. Okay, I think we're gonna wrap it up then.
All right.
If you do enjoy this quest and put it in your Monster of the Week campaign, or if you want to reform it for fantasy or anything else, this could also be a very spooky Call of Cthulhu one. But we didn't go that approach.
Nope.
If you incorporate it in any shape or form, let us know what happens. If you changed it, please let us know what you changed so we could get a little context. You can let us know down in the comments of this YouTube video, or you can let us know on X at QuestBoardPod or on Blue Sky at QuestBoard. If you have a job posting of your own that you want us to make a quest out of, let us know on any of those sites. Thank you, RollNat20, for letting us use this, and we'll be sure to make more later. And I think with that, I wish you all a good night.
And happy questing.